Welcome to Personnel Matters, the official podcast of the Air Force Personnel Center. Hosted by Major General Jefferson O'Donnell.
Welcome to Personnel Matters. I am Major General Jefferson O'Donnell, Commander of AFPC and your podcast host. We're here to provide information and updates on the programs and processes at the Air Force's Personnel Center that guide your career. This podcast is also a direct line where you can reach out to me with questions, concerns, or suggestions. During our last two episodes, we discussed the processes for both enlisted and officer assignments. The Air Force's Personnel Center works daily coordinating hundreds of assignments and PCS moves that are executed each year, enabling readiness and lethality for our Air Force and Space Force around the globe. One step of that coordination ensures you are not assigned to a location that does not have services or facilities needed for your family members or you, especially if you have educational or medical special needs. Every new assignment brings new adventures and opportunities for the entire family. But we know that moving is stressful, no matter where you go, and the Air Force provides numerous resources and programs to support you and your family at every location. A part of the task for the move, though, is to make sure that you and your family members are able to access any special medical or educational services that you'll need once you arrive. All family members of active duty service members and Department of the Air Force civilians who request government-sponsored travel to remote or overseas locations, including Hawaii and Alaska, must complete a Family Member Travel Screening, FMTS. Additionally, anytime a service member with a family already enrolled in the Exceptional Family Member Program, EFMP, is selected for an assignment, they have to complete the same travel screening no matter where they're going. Now, the screening identifies any potential travel concerns, which may include medical, educational, dental, or early intervention service needs, to ensure that the gaining location can fully support your needs and your families. Now, concerns are coordinated between the losing and the gaining locations, where you're leaving from and where you're going to, prior to making those final personnel actions for the PCS. We don't want to cut orders or spend any money or have you spending any money until we know for sure that you're going to be able to support you and your family at the next location. Now, to tell us more about the Family Member Travel Screening is Ms. Shanique Floyd. Shanique, how long have you been with AFPC?
I've been with AFPC in this division since April 15, 2019.
2019.
Yes, sir.
And you're the assignment business process owner for exceptional assignments.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks for spending a little time with us.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the time. So the EFMP program is there to assist family members with ensuring the member can proceed to the new location to support the mission, and the family's medical and indoor educational needs can be supported, as you stated, sir. So in this is not something that will hurt your career. Like some people say that it's a career killer, or I want to go to that dream assignment, but I can't. At the end of the day, our goal is to get you there so you can work, so your family can be taken care of. And that's one less thing that you have to worry about when on the ground. When I was active duty, out of my 26 years, I was enrolled in the program for my daughter for 13 years. At the end of the day, as long as I knew that my daughter could be taken care of, I was able to fulfill the mission and all the deployments that I had to fulfill while I was on active duty.
That's excellent. And, of course, medical records, I know, and educational records, too, often, especially if they're off-base, they're not in the government system, are an important piece. Does that represent a challenge when people are trying to coordinate for those moves as far as getting all those records?
Absolutely, sir, because you have some service members who are at a location for 10-plus years, depending on the AFSC that they fulfill. So they have the challenges going off base, requesting those records, bringing them back on base, completing the family member travel screening, etc. And that takes an average, it extends the timeline about 30 to 45 days, depending on how many family members they have and how many records they have to go and get from off base. So our recommendation is to always ensure that maybe you do an annual review with your family's medical issues, get those records, because at any time you can PCS.
Getting those records updated may open up opportunities that weren't available before.
Absolutely, sir.
No, that's good. I appreciate that. Any other recommendations for families that are thinking about PCS as far as their educational or medical needs to prepare and be able to get the assignments that they want?
Making sure that when you do complete the clearance, when you do receive that assignment, ensuring that you provide all the information. So our medical review officers in our division can make the correct assessment because they do work in coordination with your losing military treatment facility and the gaining military treatment facility. And this is especially crucial when going to the overseas area. If you do travel overseas, everything is space available.
So it's very dynamic.
Everything is case by case. The provider's availability changes daily. And in assignments, we choose assignments not based on the fact that your family member is enrolled in the program or your family member may not get cleared to a location. Everything is, we choose it because we need you to go to fulfill this Department of the Air Force mission.
Well, thank you, Shanika. If you have any questions about the screening process, please contact your local military health clinic's Exceptional Family Member Program Medical Office. They can help you through the travel screening process. The Total Force Service Center here operates a call center 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 361 days a year, where personnel experts are available to support you and provide answers to your questions. We recently received this question about EFMP assignments.
I'm a staff sergeant PCSing to Ramstein Air Base. Our son gets help with speech at school, and our daughter has braces. I submitted the Exceptional Family Member Program application 2 months ago, but it still isn't approved. My report no later than date is next month. How can I expedite my application?
The report no later than date will typically stay the same, but if Exceptional Family Member Program needs more time to process the application, they'll request an extension directly with their assignment team, or they will let the member know to submit the request. The program works with other military and civilian agencies to provide coordinated community support, housing, educational, medical, and personnel services to families with special needs. Sometimes this takes longer than expected, but the overall goal of the program is to help families accompany the service member to the right duty locations, not to exclude them. Additionally, to tell you more about the importance of the family member travel screening is our own command chief, Chief Ludd. Welcome back, Chief.
Major General O'Donnell, thanks for having me today. When I think EFMP, I kind of go back to a lot of my command chief positions when I was overseas. The thing I like to remind folks is sometimes the EFMP process is there to kind of protect you from yourself. What do I mean by that is from time to time you see folks get that dream assignment to Aviano, Italy, right? We've wanted to go there our entire career, finally got the opportunity. What do you mean dependent travel not authorized, right? What does that mean? Why can't they go? We've been managing whatever condition we've been managing for years back in the States with no problem. But what you don't understand is maybe there's a medication that dependent's on that's not authorized in that country where you're going. Maybe the medical capacity isn't there to take care of your family. Maybe there's language barriers and things like that you're just not aware of that our experts in the EFMP cell are tracking and they're able to look at it. You're able to file an appeal. Right, you can file an appeal, but sometimes, unfortunately, you're still not able to go. And the things that I saw was when I would see somebody say, "Hey, well, I'll still bring my dependents over, and we just won't command sponsor them," is you've already taken a delicate situation, and now every single time you created a hardship for you and your family. A lot of times, a financial hardship. You're unable to focus on the mission. And then those dependents would have to return travel. Sometimes we'd have to curtail your assignment a little bit earlier, which then creates risk to mission. And so I just let folks know, hey, sometimes understand and appreciate the advice that the medical experts are giving you. If it's a dependent travel not authorized, there is no negative impact to your career. We'll look for the next assignment. But please respect that. Don't try to do it on your own because you're going to probably come out with a financial hardship, or you're not going to be able to focus on the mission, and that's just going to cause some changes you don't want to go through.
I appreciate that perspective, Chief.
Thanks, General. Appreciate you having me today.
Now it's time for our superstar, and as I stated in our last podcast, the assignment process is more than just moving airmen and guardians from place to place. One of the many outstanding specialists here who support you in the process from the Exceptional Assignment Program is Miss Jackie Ogborn. Jackie is an assignment navigator who has been with AFPC for 3 years now. She partners with you, the service member, your command teams, enlisted and officer assignment functional teams, installation personnel flights, educational professionals, along with physicians, nurses, and medical administrators within the division. Her dedication to the mission ensures you are reassigned to locations that can meet your family's critical medical and educational needs. Now, last year alone, she successfully processed more than 1,000 travel screening applications, achieving a 97% on-time rate. Her in-depth knowledge of the assignment system is vital in navigating complex cases, helping to streamline and ease the PCS process for families across the Department of the Air Force. As we've said in the podcast, this is critically important because ultimately we need to make sure we get the airmen and guardians we have to the bases where we're executing the mission on time and focused to be able to execute that mission 24/7, 365. Those of us serving our nation get a lot of recognition in May. In 1999, Congress passed a resolution designating May as National Military Appreciation Month to recognize the contributions and sacrifices of service members, past and present. We also recognize Silver Star Banner Day, Military Spouses Appreciation Day, Children of Fallen Patriots Day, and Armed Forces Day, and Memorial Day. May is also recognized as Military Caregiver Month, a time to honor and acknowledge the significant role more than 5 million military caregivers play in supporting our veterans and military families. AFPC's Air Force Wounded Warrior Program has a caregiver support program with 267 caregivers enrolled, and they assist caregivers in multiple ways. The Caregiver Support Program identifies, connects, and improves caregiver resiliency by providing resources, workshops, tools, and new skill sets to ensure caregivers are well equipped to navigate their caregiver role. All right, well, before I get off the stage and leave you for another 2 weeks, we have a few hot topics. First of all, very exciting news. The first week of June, we're expecting the E7 promotion release, so watch out for that. We'll get the information out to those supervisors, senior raters, to be able to make some notifications and then public a release so that we can celebrate with all of our teammates. On our next episode, we're going to talk about civilian benefits and entitlements. And that's not just related to the things going on with our civilian workforce today, but these are true all the time as we continue to have the outstanding civilians who work for the Department of the Air Force and make our mission happen every day. Now, if you have any questions or issues you would like to address, look for our contact information in the comments. From the Air Force's Personnel Center, where our mission is people first, I'm General O'Donnell. Thank you for listening.
We hope you found this episode informative and helpful in taking charge of your career. Be sure to subscribe on Divots and visit our AFPC website for more resources. Have a question or topic suggestion? Reach out to us. Links to the sites and services presented in this episode of Personnel Matters, along with our website and email address, are on the podcast page. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.